Hello and welcome all once again to Beyond the Boundary, and this is TOI Sports. And once again, though it's into the second week of January of 2025, we still wish you a very happy New Year if we have not met. But welcome back to this show Monday evening, and today we have a lot to discuss. Just over the weekend, as most of our panelists also kind of predicted, the T20 squad for the England T20 series for India was announced. There were some surprises, there were certain things which we are going to discuss, and we're going to talk about what is the situation, or how do you think this particular squad will kind of perform, who were the ones who could make it, who were the ones who were rested, who were the ones who sort of could not make it, because a lot of viewers keep on commenting on our videos, and we would like to answer all of them as far as possible. The franchisee T20 market is also buzzed with a couple of big tournaments, the SA20 as well as the ILT20, and there is also a bit of news from the IPL. So we're going to talk about all these things. So let's welcome our panelists for the evening. Today, my partners in crime will be none other than Manuja, Dwaipan, and Chandresh.
Pankaj, you're continuing talking, but we can't hear you.
Yeah.
Hello, Dwapan, am I audible now? Chandresh, am I
Yes,
audible?
now you are audible. Yeah.
So all this time I was talking and I was not audible. That's very interesting.
Oh,
I'll
you were
quickly.
not.
All this while you were Spotify. Now you're audible.
Okay, fantastic. I hope our viewers were able to lip read and understand. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to the show. Let's begin. The 5 T20. Let's have the graphic on the screen. कि T20 कौन से 5 जो matches है कहाँ कहाँ होने वाले हैं. Starting with Eden Gardens, starting with Chennai, and then we move to Rajkot, Pune, and Wankhede. Dwapan, why haven't you answered my calls when I asked you about the tickets for the Chennai match? What is this?
You will. You just let me know a day before. I will try to get it arranged.
Okay, basically it was Chandresh who has been kind of arm twisting me for that, so he doesn't want to come to the
Right,
picture.
right,
But
right. No, Chandresh has better tickets than me, so
okay. Anyways, so how do you see, Dwapan, this particular tour, the first bilateral tour for India for a long year? We have a lot of things there. How significant is this particular 5 T20 series?
not very. It's kind of an appetizer. It's significant for Shami
Okay.
because there is no context to the series because there is nothing very important lined up in T20s at the moment. The entire focus is on ODIs. So the next three ODIs before the Champions Trophy, those are the three most important matches that there will be. And I am hoping that the Champions Trophy squad will play those three ODIs. But as far as this T20s are concerned, yes, it's about the only point of interest is Shami. Like Shami's fitness, how is his body holding up? Where does he stand? Because if reports are to be believed, and if way the things are shaping up, if Bumrah doesn't end up going to the Champions Trophy, then it's going
Hmm.
to be Shami will be the leader of the attack. So in these three T20, in these five, in maybe he will play three or four. We will see where his body is and how has he actually come back.
Correct. Manuja, I mean, Shami has done pretty well in the Vijay Hazare, and he's tried to kind of. We were trying to send him to Australia, but that did not happen. But now what is being said is that Bumrah and Siraj have been rested. So have Rishabh Pant and Shubman Gill. And then, this particular series is significant from Shami. Now, what Musical Being One is commenting is ODI cricket is beyond its expiry date now. Is there any need for the Champions Trophy in this age? Musical Being, first of all, I would like to request you to send your name and where you are connecting with us from. I mean, we are not gone in 2050 where we can say that ODI is, I mean, no more or extinct. But we'll take the opinion of Manuja and Chandresh also. Manuja, let's answer this. Is ODI cricket expired, and how do you see Shami shaping back? Yeah, and now you are not audible. So quickly, if you can unmute. Yes, I think yes. So I think the technical issues here. If you can just, what I did was I just removed my headphone and just put it back again. That just helped me to come
I
back.
don't think ODI cricket
Yeah,
has
you are live
expired.
now. We
Uh,
can hear you.
am I not audible? No, I'm not on mute. I'm not
Yeah,
audible.
you're audible now. Audible now.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I
Can you
think
hear me now?
yes, yes, yes. We can hear you.
Okay. Yes. Um, I don't think ODI cricket is beyond expiry date now. Audible? Okay. So no, I mean, I'm not a great fan of bilateral series per se, unless and until it's relevant, like in the build-up to a Champions Trophy. Yeah. So for me, is there a need for Champions Trophy in this age? Yes, to keep the format itself relevant,
Okay.
you need to have a tournament like Champions Trophy. Coming back to, I mean, going to Shami, will he? Will he not? Is his knee holding up? Is has his surgery gone very well? And that whole this thing suspense of 14 months, I think, is finally coming to an end. He's had a on and off, I would say. Mushtaq Ali, I think he played about 9 matches with 11 wickets, but he played only 3 Vijay Hazare matches. Took 4 wickets, but I think I watched one match on television, and he's doing well, uh, especially in the absence of both Bumrah and Siraj. Very important. You really don't know how many of them are fit and available for Champions Trophy. This, I think, is the ideal platform to start testing Shami on an international
Right.
platform. Like Dwaipan said, there's little relevance to this, T20 series other than that being a dress rehearsal.
Yeah, I think the audio and the video feed will figure that out. Sports fan says this T20 bilateral series could be more interesting than boring ODI. Chandresh, sports fan, musical being. I mean, why are they so? I mean, sarcastic towards ODIs? I mean, let's answer that first, and then we'll move to the England squad. Yes, Chandresh.
I think it's a sentiment that we must respect because ultimately it's the fan that pays for all of us who are involved in the cricketing ecosystem. And I think I completely think that I agree with Manuja that bilateral ODIs, and I agree with Dwaipan as well. Bilateral white ball cricket needs a bit of context. In the previous
Hmm.
cycle, every bilateral ODI series had a context because it involved uh, qualifying for the 2023 World Cup. I think that's
Right.
what Pakistan have done. A nice thing is that they brought back the triangular series, so they have a tri series before the Champions Trophy. So there's some kind of a context to that particular tournament, so that they're playing a scenario where they have to make it to the final, win a trophy, beat two other teams to win the trophy. We need to get back that kind of a concept, but that's also pretty difficult to get back because the broadcaster will have to agree, the sponsor will have to agree, the
Right.
crowd will have to agree for that kind of a concept to come back. So that's why you're seeing such white ball series without any context. And I think that maybe people who are saying that ODI cricket is boring or something of that sort could also be because they maybe they don't want to see some of the players who've retired from T20 cricket playing in ODI
Play.
cricket. So maybe that must be the reason. I'm not taking any names.
No, did you take any names? No, I don't think you took any names. But what introspect? So we need to
Dwaipan
introspect on
smile
what you
says it
said.
all.
Yeah, so Dwapayan and Chandresh, you need to introspect in what you have said. So introspect what he says is that could have had 5 ODIs and 3 T20s to better prepare for City. I mean, this is Champions Trophy. This is also very nice. Introspect, if you could tell your name, we would also introspect on that. But thank you very much. This makes sense. Now, let's have a quick look at the England squad and then we'll come to the Indian squad. The England squad is pretty interesting with Captain Josh Butler leading the side, with Jofra Archer, who's back, which is very, very good. Gus Atkinson has made his name really, very well. Dwapan in the last few days, test matches, of course. Jacob Bethel, we have Harry Brook, Bryden Cars, Ben Duckett, Liam Livingston, Shakib Mahmood, Jamie Overton, Adil Rashid Rehan, Phil Salt, Jamie Smith, and Mark Wood. So this looks like a pretty strong side. And Dwapan, whenever Josh Butler is there in any T20 match, be it a franchisee cricket or international, he is a dangerous man.
No, to be dangerous, he has to be fit. We don't know where his fitness is. Yeah, so like, yeah, if you remember the IPL a couple of years ago when Mumbai Indians picked him up with the hope that he will get fit somewhere down the
Yeah.
line, and over 2 years they could not play him at all, or just played him for 3-4 matches, and he was horrible because his main problem is fitness. But if he is fit, of course, he's a match winner. He's a terrific bowler. He hit big. Like he's a very interesting player. So is Harry Brook. I'll be very keen to see how he shapes up on Indian pitches, which are slightly responsive to spin. On good
Right.
pitches, which are great for batting, he can be murderous. But the moment the ball starts stopping a little bit and turns just a little bit, then Harry Brooks struggles. So I'm very keen to see how he shapes up and plays in this series. The others others are like, yeah, Ben Duckett, Liam Livingstone. We know he's a hit and miss kind of a player. Phil Salt is another interesting player. He was
Yes.
superb for KKR last year, and this year he has been picked up by Royal Challengers Bangalore. I think the IPL franchises will look at their players with a lot of interest, how they are shaping up. And yes, it's a bit of evening entertainment, so why not the fans also? So yeah.
Interesting. So, in fact, yes, in fact, Phil Salt is playing in the ILT20, so he's preparing pretty well for the slow wickets in the UAE and then coming to India. Priyanshu is asking Chandresh sir, who will be the next ODI captain? Will India have three captains? Chandresh will not answer that because I mean you need to charge for these kind of inputs, right, Chandresh?
No, I'll send the invoice separately. But
Okay,
but
with
what
the
I'm saying,
GST.
with GST. But I
Yeah.
think the question is very interesting. Maybe, just maybe, we could have 4 captains as well, because if Jasprit Bumrah becomes the Test captain, you will need somebody to be standby as vice captain, and then
Yeah.
for ODI we may have, say, Shreyas Iyer as the ODI captain. But you never know. Manuja is on air with us, so maybe I might take KL Rahul's name.
Interesting. Manuja, KL Rahul. So, do you think KL Rahul and Shreyas could share the captaincy, whosoever is fit and whenever they are fit?
I think today Pankaj and Manuja are testing us.
No, see, my audio is okay, yeah.
You started
Yeah.
with the test. No, she's continuing with the test.
Okay, that way. But yeah. So, Manuja, I think we are getting back your audio. We can't hear you right now. If you could kind of log in again, it will be great. We can quickly figure it out. Yeah. So we'll come to that. But let's go to the Indian squad as Manuja gets back, and we'll take Dwapan and Chandresh's view on that. So when the Indian squad was announced, there were a few surprises. Of course, Pant and Gill was arrested. But the biggest question is Surya Kumar, Akshar. We have Akshar is the vice captain now, which is very interesting. Chandresh, Yashasvi Jaiswal missing? Yes.
First of all, Gill and Pant don't fit into the T20 scheme of things. I might be harsh,
Correct.
but Gill is a one-dimensional player. He's only a batter. He doesn't add anything to the team. If you see all the others add something to the team with their bowling or with their batting, and I think that you can't have one-dimensional players in this lineup. I can understand Varun Chakravarti and Mohammed Shami both in the lineup. Fielding will suffer big time. So I think that Gill is a very good fielder, but he had nothing in a T20 format. I know it may be harsh. He's a captain of an IPL franchise, but the fact is he's a one-dimensional player. His batting style is suited more to the ODI format than the T20 format. So if he was so regular, he would have been part of the 2021 T20 World Cup. He would have been part of the 2022 T20 World Cup. He would have been part of the 2024 T20 World Cup. Three
Correct.
T20 World Cups, he has not been even close to being picked. So I think that it's a modern myth that Gill has missed out. Punt also, I think he will start missing out because Sanju Samson has grabbed the opportunity finally.
Correct. Big
I am
time.
more surprised that they have left out Jitesh Sharma without
Correct.
being given opportunity in the previous two series, and they have gone to a Dhruv Jurel. Apart from that, I am very happy that they have picked players who do more than one thing on the cricket field. I hate this concept of having one-dimensional players in T20 cricket, and that's the reason India struggled to win, and they forced Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma to open in the previous T20 World Cup so that they could lengthen the batting lineup and add a couple of more all-rounders. I use the term with a lot of respect to the greats of the game, but I think that this is a much more balanced T20 lineup and a settled T20 lineup. The only two people that I think who miss out in the bigger scheme of things, three people: Yashasvi Jaiswal, who's probably been given a rest,
Yes.
Jasprit Bumrah, and Kuldeep Yadav. You'll see these three people definitely being part of the T20 side for the Asia Cup this year and the T20 World Cup next year.
Correct, correct. Very interesting. Yes, and we had Om Prakash saying how can Gill be rested? They are not T20 material, and he has been rested. तो उसको लिया ही नहीं है. Introspects fully agree with Chandrasekhar. Gill is completely misfit in T20. Even Pant's game is limited. Yes, Pant has about 1,200 runs in T20s, but not really that great in the sense, so that can be one thing. Pankaj, one of my namesake, also mentioned that Yashasvi is only rested, but I mean these people are there. But Dwapan, talking about Akshar Patel, he has been, I mean, a very important time now that he's become a very important cog in the wheel in that Indian setup with almost about 500 odd runs and 65 wickets. A very important point for Akshar Patel to prove his mettle now. Do you think, now he's a vice captain? Do you think him slowly becoming more senior and probably becoming the captain one day for T20?
T20 captain, I don't think so. But yes,
Huh?
now his role becomes very important with Jadeja now not being there, because
Correct.
Jadeja held that, like, he, he was in that slot for a very long time, and uh, he was a superb T20 player as far as I'm concerned. Like, I have seen him win so many matches for at least the franchisee that I thought he was a great player. So he's now he's gone, and now it's Aksar's job to take that role of the left arm spinner who bats, and now he has to take over that role. But the thing about Aksar Patel is that Aksar Patel, I saw him in the T20 World Cup. He was get he's an extremely utility cricketer. Like, you can put him up the order, you can use him down the order, you can fit him in anywhere. Like, that kind of a player fits the T20 structure very well. So yeah,
Correct.
and if he goes for about 30 runs in 4 overs and takes a 1 or 2 wickets and scores about 25-30 at a strike rate of 150, then he does his job. So yeah, he's a good player, but of course not a captaincy material. Definitely not.
Right.
So
Chandresh, yeah, yeah, Chandresh.
पंकज द्वैपेन ये कहना चाहता है कि अक्सर पटेल अक्सर ऐसे खिलाड़ी है जो अक्सर फेल होते हैं, अक्सर सक्सीड होते हैं, पर काफी बार अक्सर जो है वो रन भी बनाते हैं और विकेट भी लेते हैं.
आप अक्सर ऐसी क्यों बातें करते हैं?
वो
Anyway.
अक्सर की बातें है ना, इसलिए अक्सर बातें करते हैं.
So sports fan says vice captaincy is distributed like peanuts these days. Nothing to delve into it.
I think that it's a bit unfair because I think we in the subcontinent make a lot about this vice captaincy role.
Right.
Because if you see very closely, I'll not go too back. In the 80s and early 90s, Ravi Shastri was the perpetual vice captain to Kapil Dev, to Shrikant, to
Right.
Sarkar, to Azharuddin. But he was never considered to be the full-time captain. Similarly, the only person who's had elevation, only two people that who have had proper elevation are Tendulkar in the 90s and Rahul Dravid in the early 2000s. If you see, Yuvraj was vice captain to Dhoni, Sehwag was vice captain to Dhoni, Gambhir was vice captain to Dhoni. I think we make a lot out of this vice captaincy role. Australia's test team has two vice captains. So I think that we in the subcontinent make a big deal
Right.
of this vice captain. It's just that usually we used to never appoint a vice captain for a home series. They've appointed somebody, so it's not a big deal. It's just everybody is part of the leadership group. He's not the captain.
Correct.
He's just somebody who's the vice captain.
Yeah, but vice captain होना चाहिए. And okay, we have a duplicate Jay Shah account saying, "Believe me, in guys, I am writing." Fair enough. Thank you, sir. I mean, this is the beauty of digital medium, and we do get a lot of different people from accounts. If you could also tell us your real name, that will be great. But Manusha, can you hear us now? Clear?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Om Prakash is asking. I am also taking Akshar instead of Jadeja in my T20 team because he has more range of shots. I mean, Om Prakash, abhi time hai. This comment we'll send it later on when we discuss about T20. But Manuja, Sanju Samson really has done
Ajit
well.
Agarkar
I
को
mean,
पता है Om Prakash is a selector with him.
is it? Acha, acha. So I'll inform Ajit Agarkar about it. But Manuja, I mean, full marks to Sanju Samson. He was there, prodigy. Didn't took the chances, didn't do well, but now he's back. I mean, 200s in the last 6 innings. Very important player now for India in the T20 format.
Very important, yes. But the thing with Sanju Samson is you don't know which side of the bed he gets up on which day. Which Sanju Samson turns up on the field on which day. On his day, he's definitely very lethal. And the fact that both he and Dhruv Jurel are in the team, most likely, Sanju Samson will keep wickets. It's very interesting to see that, given the long rope that he keeps getting, those 2 centuries in South Africa would have done him a lot of good.
Correct.
So, I mean, if he can carry forward that bit from there, because I think he played the Mushtaq Ali after that. Barring 175 that he scored, he failed to convert starts. So the last few matches weren't very good for him. But yeah, that's Sanju Samson for you. Either there's a
exactly.
blast or he's one of those, Diwali patakas which don't go off.
नहीं ऐसा मत बोलो यार मतलब he's doing well. Introspective saying Sanju Samson should now establish himself in ODI also now after doing well. So yeah, Chandresh.
No, this is the thing. Ranji Trophy is no longer played on zonal basis, but you will see Manuja and Dwaipair will not have much to say about Sanju Samson.
No, that's okay. I mean, he's a good player. Come on, you can't deny that.
No, Sanju, the important thing about this stat that is on the screen is Sanju Samson's strike rate. I don't care about the hundreds and all, that's fine. But even if you get 25, get it in 8 balls. But yeah, that 180 strike rate is phenomenal. Like, if he can keep that going, there's no stopping. But that is the clincher for him.
I think I also agree with what Manuja says about Sanju Samson. You don't know which Sanju Samson is going to turn up. He didn't turn up for the training session for Kerala for Vijay Hazare. They dropped him. So he went off to Dubai and he's training in Dubai. He's preparing for Champions Trophy in advance.
Very interesting. My namesake says Samson needs consistency now. Gigi will back him to the T. If he performs, he might be the future vice captain under Surya. Very interesting. But Dwapayan, I mean, we have Sanju Samson and Abhishek who will be supposedly opening now. But there is one name which is very interesting in the Indian squad right now is Nitish Kumar Reddy. He seems to be that blue-eyed boy. Test matches mein acha kiya. He should probably be part of the Champions Trophy and ODI scheme of things also now. He's also there in the T20 format. He did, of course, impress everyone with the IPL. So he has a very wonderful opportunity here to kind of cement his place now in the Indian T20 squad. Nitish Reddy.
Provided he gets a chance, because Hardik Pandya is the designated all-rounder. So
right.
So Hardik Pandya will play also because he hasn't been playing for India, and everyone will be keeping an eye on how he's bowling. His bowling is very, very important. See, Hardik Pandya's bowling is better than Nitish Reddy's, let's face it. But the batting part of it, Hardik Pandya can be extremely destructive, but this boy is also very, very good. Like he played so well in Australia and he has shown immense potential. But I hope he gets a couple of games in this series. Like, there is a chance that he may not get too many games, but I hope India wins the series, wraps it up, and he gets a couple of games in this series.
So in that case, let's have a quick look at the Indian squad and let's see if my three panelists agree to a playing 11 or not. Let's see what can be the probable playing 11. Let's get the Indian squad. Manuja, starting with you. Uh, ओपनिंग आपका संजू सैमसन अभिषेक तो करेंगे नंबर 3 पर सूर्य कुमार आएंगे, ठीक है या तिलक वर्मा भी उसमें है, अक्षर पटेल, तो 5 आपके तो फिक्स हो गए.
अरे why did you leave out संजू सैमसन?
नहीं, संजू सैमसन इज देयर ना. संजू एंड अभिषेक, देखो चंद्रेश, यू आर राइट यार. एनीवेज सो नहीं, संजू सैमसन, अभिषेक शर्मा, सॉरी. Then you have Surya Kumar Yadav, then you have Tilak Verma, and Akshar Patel anyway is going to be there. So 5 are clear.
Yes.
Who do you see Mohammed Shami playing?
Shami?
Hardik Pandya 6.
Yes. So Shami, Hardik Pandya 7 हो गया. Arshdeep is yes pure sure 8 हो गया.
You go by the batting order.
हाँ ठीक है, चलो. Sorry. So let's go Abhishek Sharma, Sanju Samson, Surya Kumar Yadav, Tilak Verma, अक्षर पटेल एंड हार्दिक पांड्या हो गया आपका. अभी मोहम्मद शमी, अर्शदीप, ये भी हो गया. अब आपके पास 3 स्पॉट अभी भी है. नीतीश कुमार को डाल सकते हैं आप.
रवि बिश्नोई.
Yes, so Ravi Bishnoi 1. Okay, you still have 2 places. Nitish Reddy still has a chance. Rinku Singh.
Where do you fit him into the middle order?
नहीं, नीचे जहां भी उसका बॉलिंग मेन होगा ना, बॉलिंग करो, बैटिंग लंबा करो. Chandresh?
Number 7 could be Washington Sundar, I think, because they prefer a longish batting lineup. So number 7 could be Washington Sundar. Then your 8 and 9 are 2 pacers, Arshdeep Singh and Harshit Rana, I am guessing, 8 and 9.
Yes.
And then
But would you then take Nitish Kumar instead of Harshit Rana and improve the batting?
No.
I think
Nitish Kumar and who? Harshit Rana? No.
Yeah.
Harshit Rana is a proper bowler. No.
नहीं, लेकिन अभी अर्शदीप और शमी ऑलरेडी है ना. अर्शदीप है, शमी है, हार्दिक पांड्या भी है बॉलिंग करना.
Of course. 8, 9, 10 are Arshdeep, Shami and maybe Harshit. Or
I think Nitish Kumar Reddy even opened the bowling in the Bangladesh T20 series. So he didn't play in South Africa because he was in New Australia with the test team. Also, Tilak Verma I think will bat at 3 because he went to Surya in South Africa and said, Surya bhau, मुझे batting number 3 खेलने दो. He scored a 100
सेंचुरी मार दिया.
100 मारा तो. So I think that you'll have Abhishek and Sanju and then Tilak and then Sky. You'll have Hardik and then
Aksar.
I think you'll have Aksar. And then I think it's interesting because they've got lots of options. We are forgetting one name, Rinku Singh.
Exactly.
And Rinku Singh always will miss out because the top order is so power packed. He hardly gets the chances nowadays. And then you've got Nitish Kumar Reddy who can bowl and bat. Washington Sundar who can bowl and bat.
Correct.
I think the coach prefers Varun Chakravarti and he did well in the 2 T20 series in South Africa.
Interesting.
And I have a feeling, maybe Manujan Dwaipan might know better, Shami may not play all the games. You might see Shami missing out after the first couple of games. Test India, just rest and then prepare for the championship. Because you don't want him to, if the news about Bumrah is correct, you don't want Shami to be on the injury list again.
Correct. So this is the beauty of Beyond the Boundary, that we really talk in detail about everything. Om Prakash says we can play both Pandya and Reddy with 2 pacers and 2 spinners. Very interesting. Well, everyone is getting involved. All the viewers are getting involved. So Pankaj, मेरा जो namesake है, ये मैं नहीं हूँ. इन्होंने अपना पूरा playing 11 भेज दिया है. Very good. I mean, please keep on sending your comments like this. Please also tell us where you joining us from. Now we have had a very interesting discussion. Awadh Agarwal Chandresh said, do you think a player doing anchor role in T20 is done and dusted? Anchor role is finished. I mean, वो जो लगाते हैं anchor दीवार में वैसा types.
Pankaj, I thought for a moment he was talking about you. Sorry.
Hey, come on, Awadh, I'm still there. I'm not done and dusted. What do you mean by that? Not fair, यार. आप कहाँ से Awadh बताइए जरा, मैं आके मिलता हूँ आपको.
See, if you want tickets for the matches in Chennai or in Mumbai or wherever it is, then anchor role has to be done and dusted. Otherwise, you will get it very easily. You don't have to call Dwaipan on me.
Anyways,
It's as simple
now,
as that.
yes, as simple as that. So we have done a lot of interesting talk about the squad. Now let's move to some news. Ujwala Maurya says Surya has also taken a leaf out of Rohit's selfless book, gave his position to Tilak. Fantastic, brilliant. Now let's move to some franchisee cricket. Awadh Agarwal Jharkhand में, अरे मैं तो आ रहा हूँ झारखंड में. Awadh ji, मैं मिलूंगा आपसे, पक्का मिलूंगा. Thank you so much for that, and it will be really great. But let's talk about the franchisee cricket now, gentlemen and ladies. Let's talk about the IPL. The news that Manuja Shreyas Iyer has been now designated the Punjab captain, which is really very good for him, and it's good now, And Shreyas actually did pretty well, bit in KKR, bit in Delhi, but now he has a great opportunity at the Punjab franchisee.
I think, yeah, that's the reunion of Ponting and Shreyas. And I think for a month before the auction, we kept saying how Punjab will take. I mean, I think even Dwaipan was insisting that he will go to Punjab, which he did.
Okay.
I think the moment they picked him up at the price that they did, it was a no-brainer that he would lead the team. And personally, I really like him as a captain. We've seen what he's done. Okay, Delhi is a different story, but I think he handled Calcutta very well. Delhi is the story for another.
Yeah, Chandresh is smiling. That's why we'll come to him.
Yeah, but in Punjab Kings, the dynamics I don't think necessarily work with a captain and a coach. There's a whole different ball game there.
Yeah.
His captaincy and his leadership and his personality itself, I think, is going to be tested in Punjab.
Very interesting. And he says that I'm honored that the team has reposed its faith in me. I am looking forward to working again with Coach Ponting. The team looks strong with a great mix of potential and proven performers. I hope to repay the faith shown by the management to deliver our maiden title. Dwapan, you wrote these things for him? I mean, he's... But Dwapan, coming to you, let's move from the IPL to the SA20. And SA20 suddenly has become very interesting. A lot of uncapped South African players are doing well, and they suddenly have started kind of creating an ecosystem from where a lot of young South African players are coming up. I mean, it's a pretty good franchisee tournament, SA20.
Yes, yeah, it's fun. It's a fun watch. If you are not doing anything, you can watch it at night. Starts at 9 and.
But no, it's a lot like the Hockey India League, where a bunch of the foreign players, withdrew, and we painted an entire picture of promoting local talent. And I think that's what's happening with SA20 as well. The West Indies guys have just vanished from there, right from Nicholas Puran. A lot of them, I think,
and some are playing in IL20, I think.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So core of the West Indies guys deserted them and went to the deserts. So you had no choice but to showcase your local talent.
Right.
But I think Manuja is right about that. Like, because I was calling the game last night, it felt like that there was West Indies 11 on one side, England 11 on the other side, because the Gulf Giants had all the English players, and the other side had got all the West Indies players. The MI Emirates and Abu Dhabi Knight Riders have got all the West Indies players possible. Like, you name it and they have it, like Pollard and Russell and everybody.
Alzari.
And, Alzari Joseph, Nicholas Puran, Andre Fletcher, even Johnson Charles, Romario Shepherd. So they're all there.
And they were also some of them were the stars of last SA20.
Yes, I think they just moved from here to there, playing for the same franchise. But you're forgetting there were some guys who are also playing in BPL, Bangladesh Premier League, which is still going on. And then there is also the Big Bash League, which is going on.
Yes.
You had Alex Hales fighting with Tamim Iqbal 3 days ago in Dhaka. He was playing yesterday in Abu Dhabi.
Dwapan, how do these guys manage all their travel kind of things?
No, if the money is sorted, you can do the traveling. It's not a problem.
I mean, it's so complicated.
Ask Chandresh. He's calling a match in the morning and then doing the show in the evening. Ask
No, I know Chandresh what all he's doing, but let's not talk. But so Sriram says, "Lagta hai Harry." लगता है हैरी ब्रूक द्वापायन के पैसे लेकर नहीं द्वापायन के पैसे लेकर कोई भाग नहीं सकता श्रीराम जी। वो आप चिंता मत करो, ही इज अ वेरी सॉर्टेड गाय द्वापायन दत्ता। I mean, Harry Brook has more test centuries in Pakistan than Imran Khan, and he is new Multan ka Sultan with 317, overtaking Sehwag's 309. I mean, look at the kind of
Okay.
involvement.
So I
Yeah,
will just answer that.
yeah, please.
The moment Pakistan made the second and third tests, they turned the pitches into Turner and those two left arm spinners. They one left arm spinner and one off spinner. They got them
Yeah,
out of the grave and started bowling. Entire England team, including Harry Brook, did not know how to deal with it. Lost the two tests, lost the series, and were not there in contention for the WTC final. So I am not talking just out of a thin air. I have some proof on the basis of which I am saying, and he was part of the SRH team. I think he scored a
correct.
century at Eden Gardens in IPL, and beyond that, he could not get back to ball in that IPL. I hope he gets better. I really hope, because he's a terrific batsman. But if he gets better, it's good for everybody.
Correct. So, do you realize now, Dwapan, nobody can run away with his money, and it's very, very
Journalists
difficult.
don't make enough money, Sriram, to anybody to run away with our money. Okay.
So we might come to you for some thing. So Introspect says Big Bash, Bangladesh Premier League, IL T20, SA20 are tournaments. So let's not call it anything Mickey Mouse, Tom and Jerry. I mean, take it easy. A lot of people watch it Introspect. आपको पता नहीं है, बहुत लोग देखते हैं. दुनिया में बहुत लोग हैं जिनको क्रिकेट पसंद है. जैसे द्वापा ने भी कहा कुछ नहीं होगा तो हम ऐसे T20 भी देख सकते हैं. So a lot of things are there. Chalo. So let's talk about these tournaments finally, Manuja, and then I'll come to Chandresh and then Dwapa. And IL T20 is happening in the desert. I mean, now the frequency of 2020 franchisee games has become so prominent now. They're now overlapping. Is it something which you see kind of disturbing the game, because one after the other it was kind of an ideal situation? You hop and skip from one place to other, but everything going on suddenly. How do you think the players are looking at it? I mean, जिसके पास ज़्यादा पैसा है जाना है क्या? It becomes very difficult.
I think it's pure maths. Also, given the packed ICC calendar, squeezing in these tournaments itself is a huge challenge. And show me the money and you have the player. That's what a lot of these players who are also playing in these leagues have either retired or they do so-called freelance cricket, pro cricket, or whatever they choose to call it. So they're playing from one franchisee to the other. But I think that's nothing wrong, Pankaj. I mean, it's, I think, pure economics. If somebody is going to give them a better offer, you go there. Obviously, the contracts now are also flexible, and also a lot of these franchisees are Indian owner-based.
Yeah.
And a lot of them play for common franchises. So I think resources in terms of coaching staff and players is kind of distributed and shuttled around.
Very interesting. So Shivam Kesari says MI Cape Town will win. देखा लोग देखते हैं, they are commenting and they are actually predicting who will win. तो आप सोचो Mr. Sriram, आप जो या फिर जो भी कह रहे थे कि कहाँ से होगा. A lot of people watch it. But Chandresh, yesterday I think there was a last ball thriller at the IL T20 and you were there. And tell us something about it, because MI Emirates lost actually to Delhi Capitals. What happened? In fact, क्या हुआ था?
The pehla match, they lost by 1 run. MI Emirates lost to Dubai Capitals by 1 run, and I think you spoke about the retired players. Pollard was playing, and you could sense that he's not the same anymore.
Right.
And previous year, you could see that he was losing it, but yesterday, on the Saturday, when I saw him batting, he was not the same anymore. And a young boy called Farhan Khan was playing his first ever T20 game at any level. Bowled an over where he saved 13 runs, or 12 runs rather. So I think that it was a very interesting contest to start off. Even yesterday, you had two very interesting games. And I think what is also happening now is that a different ecosystem has evolved because of this. Because you've got a lot of these Tom Kohler, Cadmore, Pollard, Russell, Naren,
Cox, Jamie
Gordon
Cox,
James Swin, Adam Light. A lot of these players playing all these franchise tournaments. And as a result of the SA20 and ILT20, a lot of big names are now no longer looking at, say, the Bangladesh Premier League or the Big Bash League. and that's a telling sign for those two tournaments, especially Big Bash League, because they had the early movers advantage and they missed out.
Interesting. Correct, correct. Finally, Dwapan, a very interesting point that Manuja and Chandresh have made. Do you see how long can the T20 overlapping franchisee can go on? Do you feel, our Chandresh said, some may miss out and we may emerge with new things? Because there was news that there were European T20 league is also coming up. Of course, that will have its own different kind of a flavor. But do you see now the calendar getting more packed, or some of the franchisee tournaments losing out?
Franchisee tournaments, I don't think we'll lose. We'll lose. See, the marquee franchisee tournament will always be IPL, and as long as Indian players don't play, none of these leagues are
Ha.
super hits. They have their own places, own markets, and they do their whatever they do. But and there some players do come up with T20 cricket getting into Olympics from 2028. These leagues will have its relevance. More players will come up from different parts of the world, so because not all players will get into IPL, because IPL is creme de la creme of franchisee cricket
Yeah.
plays in IPL. So it's a step above. So these leagues will have their place for commercial reasons, and with cricket getting into T20 cricket getting into Olympics as well.
Correct. Uncle Biswas finally says BBL teams are playing maximum 2 foreign players only. But that's how it is. SA20 is also doing that. ILT20 is also doing that. Somewhere or the other, that ratio remains more or less the same. But one thing is very clear from the discussion, that a lot of new players, a lot of 2 tier, 3 tier, 4 tier players from across the world are getting a lot of opportunities in different type of franchisee formats. We spoke about India versus England, the 5 T20s, and we also spoke about some of the latest news in the franchise cricket world. That's what we have for today on Beyond the Cricket. Manuja, Chandresh, and Dwapan, thank you so much. With Gulbadin Naib getting that famous bicep kind of a posture the other day when they won by 1 match, the Delhi Capitals, and a lot of things are happening. Colorful stuff everywhere and colorful conversations on Beyond the Boundary. Manuja, Chandresh, Dwapan, thank you very much for being a part of today's conversation. We'll join all of you all once again tomorrow at the same time on TOI Sports on this lovely show called Beyond the Boundary. Thank you very much. Until then, Pankaj signing off.